Have you ever felt like you're talking to a brick wall when you give your dog a command? Well, today we're going to change that. Let's dive into how you can get your dog to listen and, actually obey right from the very first time you ask.
Does this sound a little too familiar? You repeat the command, your voice gets a bit louder, maybe a little more frustrated, but your dog just keeps on doing what they're doing, completely ignoring you. It's so frustrating, right? And you start to wonder, is my dog just being stubborn, or am I doing something wrong?
Well, here's the secret. The problem isn't your dog. The problem is that we're often speaking the language they just don't understand. But the good news is you can absolutely learn their language. And here on the Love Dogs channel, we're going to break down exactly how to become that clear, confident leader your dog has been waiting for.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute foundation of all communication with your dog. It's not about the words you use. It's all about the energy you project. This is our first and most important pillar.
Just think about it from an evolutionary point of view. Dogs come from pack animals where their very survival depended on reading super subtle cues in body language. Getting a signal wrong could be a life or death mistake. So they are literally hardwired to trust what they see in your posture and energy way more than the sounds coming out of your mouth.
So here's a perfect example of that disconnect we all do. Picture this. You're tired. You're on the couch, and you kind of mumble, "no," to your dog. Your words might be saying stop, but your relaxed body and your flat voice, they're sending a completely different message. Something like, I'm not really serious about this. Your dog is always going to believe your energy, and that no of yours just becomes background noise.
So how do we fix this? It's pretty simple, but it takes intention. First, stand up straight, pull your shoulders back. You want to look like you mean business. Second, make your voice grave and secure. Not angry, just confident. And third, just let your body say the exact same thing as your mouth. When your physical presence backs up your words, your dog will instantly take you a lot more seriously.
Okay, now that we understand how important our energy is, let's move on to pillar 2. We need to learn the basic grammar of dog communication. And we're going to start with 2 critical rules: timing and how we use their name. 2 seconds. That's it. That is the entire window of time you have for your dog to connect something they did with your reaction to it. It doesn't matter if it's a reward or a correction. 2 seconds. After that, the moment's gone.
This is so crucial. If you come home, find a puddle on the floor, and then scold your dog who's now happily greeting you at the door, you are not punishing them for the puddle. You're punishing them for greeting you. Their brain just can't connect your anger now with something they did minutes or even hours ago. It just creates confusion and anxiety, and it really damages their trust in you.
And the second rule is all about your dog's name. It should only ever be linked with good things: praise, food, fun, walks, your loving attention. Never, ever use it to scold them. When you yell their name in anger, you poison one of your most valuable tools. You want your dog to come running to you full of joy when they hear their name, not to hesitate or hide. Honestly, this could literally save their life one day.
All right, let's move on to pillar 3. This is all about working with your dog's psychology to get the results you want, using techniques that actually build your relationship instead of damaging it.
For a social animal like a dog, your attention is the ultimate prize. It's like gold. So this means that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do to stop a bad behavior, like jumping or barking for attention, is to completely ignore it. You see, even yelling no is a form of attention, which can accidentally make the behavior happen more often. So, turn away, cross your arms, become as boring as a rock.
But ignoring isn't always enough. A simple no tells your dog what not to do, but it kind of leaves a vacuum. They're left there thinking, okay, so what should I be doing instead? And that's where this next step comes in.
So the key is to redirect them to a yes. If your dog is chewing on the furniture, interrupt them and immediately give them a chew toy that's okay to chew on. And the moment they take that toy, you praise them like they just won the lottery. You're not just stopping a bad behavior, you're actively teaching them the right one.
And this brings us to our final pillar, which really ties everything together. A dog's behavior isn't just about training commands. It's a reflection of their overall well-being. A happy, fulfilled dog is just naturally a more obedient dog. I'm sure you've heard this classic saying, and it is 100% true. So many behavior problems, like chewing, digging, barking like crazy, are really just symptoms of boredom and pent-up energy. A dog that's had a good amount of exercise just doesn't have the fuel left in the tank to get into trouble. But fulfillment is way more than just a long walk. It's a mix of a few things. We have to provide mental stimulation,
like with puzzle toys, which can be just as tiring as a run. They also need good socialization and, this is a big one, a predictable routine. Knowing when they're going to eat, walk, and play reduces their anxiety and helps them feel secure, and that's the foundation for good behavior.
So let's just recap the 4 pillars to building that incredible relationship. First, always remember your energy speaks louder than your words. Second, master those rules of communication, especially timing and how you use their name. Third, train smarter by ignoring the bad stuff and redirecting to a yes. And fourth, make sure your dog's needs for exercise, stimulation, and routine are being met.
See, these aren't just training tips. They are the ingredients for a deeper, more respectful, and much more loving connection with your dog. You have all the tools now. The only question is, are you ready to start building that amazing bond with your best friend?
We really hope this has been helpful. For more ways to understand the dog you love and to keep building that incredible partnership, make sure you subscribe to the Love Dogs channel. Thanks for watching.